Howdy everyone, and welcome back to The More You Grow. If you saw in my last ginger video, you'll see that I showed you how to get ginger planted and sprouted. In this video, I want to show you what the next step is. I want to take you along and show you all the tips and tricks that I know and how you can grow the biggest ginger possible at home. So let's get started. So check it out, guys. This is how big our ginger is now. Once it gets this big, it needs some more space. That means it's time to transplant it. So for a pot this size, we're actually going to put 3 ginger plants in it. And I know what you're probably thinking, Eric, that seems pretty cramped. Aren't they going to get root bound? Well, ginger plants actually do well with a little bit of competition. It makes them grow bigger, thicker roots. So let's get these potted up and I'll tell you the next step. So my next tip for you is instead of filling this pot up with potting soil and planting the ginger in there like you would a normal plant, we're only going to fill this pot up 1/3 of the way to halfway and plant the ginger in that. And as these rhizomes start expanding, we're going to mound up more soil, and that's just going to give it that much more room to expand and grow more ginger for you. So now that we have our ginger transplanted, I have a few tips and tricks for you on how to grow the biggest ginger possible. My first and probably most important tip for you is to be patient. Ginger takes a long time to grow, and it can take sometimes 8 to 10 months to get those big pieces of ginger that we can really be proud of. So be patient. Number 2, don't put this in direct sunlight. The hot, really intense sun, noonday sun, and afternoon sun, especially here in Texas, they don't do well in that. They like it a little shady during the hot time of day. They like morning sun and evening sun. So avoid direct sunlight during the hot part of the day, or these leaves will start turning brown and they'll just die. And my third tip for you is to make sure they get enough nutrients. Ginger is a very heavy feeding plant. And if you want to grow those big pieces of ginger, you got to make sure it's got enough nutrients. I want to say to avoid the inorganic fertilizers because they will make your soil content have a lot of salt in it. And these guys do not do well with high saline soil. They will die really quickly. So the way I suggest to fertilize these is every 2 weeks we give a fish emulsion watering with fish emulsion water, just like it sounds. And we usually use about a tablespoon per gallon, I believe. But check the back of the bottle, it has recommendations. You can get fish emulsion at just about any lawn and garden store, and it comes in a bottle. Smells awful because it's ground up fish, but plants love it. And my third tip for you is to choose your container wisely, because ginger likes to grow out more than it does down. So having enough depth is important, but the more space you kind of give it widthways will give it more room to expand. And also, you can actually plant multiple ginger plants in a container. They actually do well with a little bit of confinement and competition amongst each other. I don't really know why that is, but it seems like containers where we put more, up to about 3 in a container this size, you could put more if it's a bigger container. But giving that little bit of competition seems to make the roots grow thicker. Another important thing to know about ginger is if you're in a cold climate, you don't want to let this freeze. This is a tropical plant, and you want to grow this during the time of year where you don't have to worry about the freezing temperatures as much. If you think it's going to freeze, that's okay. That's why we're growing it in containers. Bring it into either a garage or some kind of sheltered location. Keep it out of the freeze, and it'll grow just fine. Isn't that the beauty of containers? So that's the major tips I have for you on growing your very own fresh, healthy ginger at home in containers. We've gone through every step now on this channel, from getting your ginger started from the original piece of rhizome that you can get in the grocery store, to getting the ginger transplanted into the pot, the larger container, and allowing it to grow, all the way to harvesting. If you want to check out those previous videos, I'm going to leave a link to them down in the description. I'll be sure to bring you along as well when we harvest this ginger. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you have any other questions for me on how to grow your own ginger at home, be sure to leave them down in the comments and I'll get with you on that. And if you like these kinds of videos on gardening, on farming, we've got a lot coming up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you can be there for when all the new videos come out. So until next time, I hope you'll join me right here on The More You Grow.